Welcome once again to everybody to this brief meeting this night. It has become so important that we call the meeting to kickstart something that is going to be a series that will bring to our consciousness what we ought to have done and what we ought to be doing. The notice I sent to you specifically said finishing strong, year 2023 in view. So this meeting tonight is not going to be too lengthy, but it just the start off of something that is going to continue to happen. It is my view that it is my plan that we might be having this meeting either 2 times or 3 times every week, because we just don't have the time. We've lost time in the past. We don't have time. There are a lot of things we need to put in place. There are a lot of things that we need to do individually and collectively. And considering the time that we have, if we don't apply some extra measure to inconvenience ourselves, we might not as well, scratch it, let alone go in the whole hog of it. So I intend that we'll be having this meeting. Each session will not be lengthy, 3 times in a week, in order for us to be able to properly key into what we need to be doing. Tonight, I just want to speak to us concerning, our personal lives in relation to the business that we do. But as we go on, I will play a video of a talk that the mastermind, the president of the organization, gave. A talk that he gave in one of the meetings that he held with his team. But before I get to that point, you see, this is the end of this year, not the end of time, not the end of the process of time for you, but the end. We're coming to this is the last month of the year, and today is already 10th, so tomorrow is 11th. So that is to say that we have about 2 weeks or 3 weeks to go in this year. So far, many of us, starting from January this year, you set out things that you would want to see happen in your business. Now, for some of us, we cannot even say we've achieved 1%. Some of us 5%, 10%. You are not sure you have been able to achieve that. So you are getting worried. Why is it that I've said this for myself? I've not been able to achieve it. And you know what? For many of us here, it is not even the first time that you are setting a target and not meeting it, not hitting up to 80% or 90%. You have set a target in the past. You could not even hit up to 30% of it. This year is not the first time. So it's like it has happened and happened again in your life. It has become a pattern. So each year you set a target and you fail. Each year you set a target, you cannot account for a pass mark. in achievement of that target. So it becomes a pattern to the extent that you're even telling yourself, there is no need me setting any target again. There is no point aspiring for anything because it is actually not for me. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to achieve anything. This is the state of the mind of every, most people here. This is where your mind is. You have sold by circumstances around you, by the things you've not been able to accomplish. They seem to have rubbed off, on your psyche. You're beginning to think that there are people created specially who are going to be the ones to achieve greatness, and it is not for you. In fact, you've gone into your shelf and you are thinking, oh, I do not belong to the right, group, that it is not just for me. I've tried this thing. It seems it's not for me. That's the thinking of some persons. I've set a target, I did not achieve it. Now, the truth is this, that there are things you've not been able to take into account. There are a lot of things that have been happening that, yes, why that pattern is repeating in your life is because you've not been able to deal with those things. So today, I'll just speak to us and then we'll begin to consolidate, because there are several arms that will set us right, make us finish strong in this year. And within this year, we'll be able to set the right, the right foundation for next year. Because if you wait till next year, you will go into next year unprepared. And it is very, very, very wrong. I actually invited up to 24 persons for this meeting, but we don't even have up to half of us here. And that is actually normal. So if you notice, I didn't call everybody for this meeting. So I just called a few persons. And even the few that were called, some were not there, some are still not here. So I will not stress myself much. I even had to send message privately as the meeting commenced. Some of us did not join. I started sending message. That's why you had all those delays. Not because I wasn't ready. I was sending message to make sure that some of us joined the meeting. Now, this is it. There are things you have been doing or the things you failed to do that has actually created a pattern for you. In this case, a negative pattern. Those are the things that has kept you where you are. When others are emerging, you are not emerging. When others are thriving, you are not thriving. It is just because there is something that you fail to do, or there are things you are doing that you ought not to do. Now, tonight, first thing first, what I want us to do, you can do it this night, you can do it tomorrow, is for us to take stock of our lives, take stock of your character, your behavior, your attitude. In the past, there was a book that we read titled Attitude is Everything. What is your attitude towards your business? What is your attitude in life? What is your attitude towards issues in life? What are those things that have, created a negative pattern in your life? It could be not taking, trainings and meetings like this serious. For some of us, you will have to send, several reminders to them before they can join. For some of us, we've made up our mind, we will not even join. But for some of us, we have a reasonable excuse, but I tell you, no excuse is reasonable. You have an excuse that you are going to give. Like one of us gave me an excuse of power. The battery is low. Meanwhile, this meeting was scheduled, like 3 days ago. So, and the person will tell me, but I am not the one that gives power. The electric distribution company didn't give power. That is still the mindset of someone who have not decided to kill a negative pattern. Because one thing is this, there will always be a reason for you not to do or to do what you are doing that has created that negative pattern. So I will admonish us this night that we go back. I have my own negative pattern, the things that I am doing, or the things I fail to do that has created a negative pattern for me. So as I am speaking, I'm speaking to every one of us here, including myself. So every one of us will go back and begin to identify those things that have created a negative pattern. Your own could be, anger. Your own could be blaming every other person except yourself. Your own could be not taking responsibility for your life, not taking responsibility for your business. Your own could be procrastination. I will do it. I will. And say this thing that I need to, this call I need to do, I will do it. Let's tomorrow, tomorrow I will do it. That tomorrow will come. No, I will do it. That tomorrow will pass. Next tomorrow, I will do it. I will. Negative pattern. Procrastination. It has created a negative pattern that you will set a target, you will not achieve it. Because success is a building block, precept upon precept, step by step, line by line. You keep laying it. The one you did not lay today, there won't be any progress. But the mistake that we make is that we think that the magic one will be just, thrown like that and everything will come into place. There is no person that have achieved success that there is no, process to it. So the whole thing tonight is for us to go back and identify those things that we are doing or the things that we fail to do that have created negative pattern in our lives, negative pattern in your business, that you've never made a certain amount of money, a certain amount of income in your business, a negative pattern. You've never grown your team to a certain number of persons, active persons, negative pattern. You will build and build and build. It comes to a point, it crashes, negative pattern. Looking within you, don't blame another person. Don't look for another person for an excuse. Look within you. Forget about your sponsor. Forget about that person. He didn't make the call for me. He didn't call me for cell meeting. He didn't call me for this. He didn't do that. He didn't teach me this. Forget about it. You have a whole organization from which you can learn whatever you want to learn. You have a group of people that you can call any of us, and then you will know whatever you want to know without having even that your sponsor, even if the person is not in business. Just as many of us here, our sponsors are not in the business. So what is your negative pattern? Not taking responsibility, not doing the activities, procrastination, not seeing the vision clearly, lack of faith. I don't know whether this thing I don't know whether it will work for me, or lack of self-confidence. I'm not sure I'm cut out for this. It is not for me. I know it is working for others, but it seems not for me. These are the things you need to identify. There are many. Each of us, we know our weak points. Do not lie to yourself. You know your weak point. I know my own. I know my own. and I am going to work on it. I urge you, identify. Now, the points towards, having anything, redeemed is first awareness. I've taught us this in the past. Awareness. You must first be aware of your state of affairs, where you are. I am lacking in this. I am procrastinating. Each time I need to do something, I will procrastinate. Eventually, one week we go, I'll find out that I've not been able to do it. Awareness that you are in that state. I always find, someone to blame except myself. Awareness. I get offended that somebody did something or did not do something. Awareness that you have that problem. When you are aware, the next thing is acceptance. That this is the state where I am, and it's a very helpless state for me. And if I continue in this state, I will not move an inch. Another 12 calendar month will come, and I will still be where I am. Accept your state. And then from acceptance, you will have action. Take action. I am sick and tired of this. Enough is enough. I cannot continue in this state of affairs. I am taking action. I am taking the step right now. A lot of things are happening. In fact, we have given everybody the opportunity to start afresh. Project yourself in the next 5 years from now, even if you've boggled it in the past years. Start right now and project yourself in the next 5 years. But if you still lack direction, in the next 5 years again, you are still have not found yourself. That is why this particular year is so critical. You must prepare yourself right now, this year, these 2-3 weeks that we have going into next year. And that is why we will be having this interaction 3 times a week. If you are not yet fed up, if you are not yet angry enough, then you will give excuses why you will not attend that 3 times in a week. And does he not know that we have a lot of things that we are doing? Family issues. And how can we be having this and every other meetings that we have around? Is it only meeting that we'll be having? You are not yet fed up. You have been without such meetings all this while. You are where you are. So I urge you to go with me this time. Even if at the end of the day, it is only 1 other person or 2 other persons or 3 other persons or 5 other persons that we can, deny ourselves the comforts, discomfort ourselves and say, enough. We are taking this step for ourselves because we cannot be left in the scheme of things, cannot be left out. We want to do it differently. Now, let me show you something. We're talking about 2023. Thankfully, God has provided us a platform with which we can, like a springboard upon which we can excel. And that is the emerge. We've been talking about emerge 2023. Emerge. And some people are like, what is emerge? But I believe that everybody here understand what emerge is. But one thing is you are aware. Another thing is, do you really, feel yourself into it? I'm going to share the video by the president. Just Give me a minute. Let me restart the video. All right, so just look at this video. We're going to just play for about 16 minutes and then we wrap it up.
And I'm coming 9 a.m. on the dot, and it's a bit intentional because it has to be what I want to share today. And I want to welcome everybody that's here. I want to especially appreciate everybody that has taken up this vision and is running with it. I want to tell you that your posterity will be kind to you. You know, when all this is said and done, the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you will look back and you'll be glad that you became part of history. And for those of us that don't know, our vision is to raise financially free people who will in turn go and raise other financially free people so that collectively we can use our finances. Vision of creation is waiting for the manifestations of you and I. You can't help the world without money. You see, you meet somebody, is crying, my child is dying of hunger. Oh, oh, and you have not eaten yourself. There's nothing you do. Your sorry cannot help the world. Your empathy cannot help the woman that has a sick daughter that needs 2 million naira operation. It can't help. It can't help her. It can't help her. The only thing that can help her at that moment, okay, come, take this money, come do the operation. Okay, I know what to do. Bring that to a place where people can actually do these things for her. The world is waiting for us. The world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for me and you. And that's the goal, and that's the vision. Please confirm if you can hear me. Confirm if you can see me, please. I need that confirmation.
Loud and clear, both on Zoom and YouTube.
So the vision is to raise financially free people who will also go and raise other financially free people so that together we can make a positive impact in our world. We can affect our world positively so that we don't just go pass through this earth and nobody feels our impact. So congratulations if you're part of this vision. Congratulations if you're here. Congratulations if you're following this vision. Future will tell. The next few years, will tell that, wow, I made the right decision. Now I want to share something. I want to share something with you guys on mentorship. Mentor you guys on something what I call the secrets to emerge. Congratulations to all the people that shared their story. I think the last lady that shared that story of Dr. Mide, I was like, come on, did you just steal my playbook? Did you just steal my playbook? I mean, just listening to your story, you said quite a bunch. Now, I'm going to say this. Everybody listening to me has the capacity and the potential to emerge. But there is something that is stopping people, that is stopping the young men and the young women of our generation, that is stopping the adults, the old men and the old women. This business is for all comers. There is something that is stopping them from emerging. And that's what I want to talk about today. Do they have the capacity and the potential to emerge? Yes, of course they do. Will they emerge? I don't know. Depending on how they deal with the things that try to stop them from emerging. To merge is to come out of obscurity. And emerge means there's something that you overcame. I want to share one of those things that has killed a lot of young men, a lot of young women, and stopped them from emerging. And they look at themselves, oh, sorry, it wasn't meant to be. Who told you it wasn't meant to be? If I expose this enemy today, the enemy you master, the enemy you know and master, you have defeated already. What are the things that stop us from emerging? First of all, I said, everybody has the capacity and the potential to emerge, to become who you want to be, to become who you're destined to be. But there's something that we also do not have. What we do not have is the ability to see and feel beyond our senses. Listen, you have the potential and the capacity in you to emerge. But what we do not have, I can't see as I'm sitting in my office. I lack the capacity to see what's going on downstairs. If a bird is peeing on my car, I can't see it. If somebody is sitting on my car, I can't see it. We all lack the capacity to see and feel beyond what our senses tell us. And as a result, we don't have a holistic view of our environment, of our experiences, of our challenges. But that disadvantage, I call it a disadvantage, the seeming disadvantage, which is inability to see beyond our senses, see and feel beyond our senses. That particular disadvantage in quotes is the greatest advantage that we have. Now, that disadvantage of not seeing beneath our senses and feeling beneath our senses is the greatest magic that God has given us. And that is where faith comes in. The Holy Book says that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. The ability not to see these things and gives an opportunity to believe what you have not seen. That's where faith kicks in. And faith in all ramifications, I'm going to break it down, is the reason why people emerge. But let me backtrack a little bit. You see, I've seen a lot of people come close to their breakthrough like this. This is how they are. 2 centimeters and they drop. They were about to emerge. They are here like this, just so close. One more meeting, one more prospect, one more this, one more training, one more event, one more. They are just so close. Lots of people, thousands and thousands and thousands of people, they are close to emerging when they quit. I was recently engaged in an exercise, and I told myself, no. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to see. I set the timer. I'm telling you a life story. And all of a sudden, I was like, this time is not coming now. This time is not coming. It should have been some amount of time by now. It should have been 30 minutes by now. I was supposed to do something, and I was not supposed to quit at the 30 minutes. I was like, oh no, this time, are you sure this spot is correct? Are you sure something is just... The moment I broke and I looked at the time, it was remaining 1 minute, 20 seconds. Now, once it gets to 1 minute, it begins to beep. Once it gets to 60 seconds, it begins to beep. It was remaining 20 seconds for it to beep, and I broke it. Why did I break it? It just opened my eyes. I was like, wait a minute, why did I break it? I was beginning to think, are you sure this clock is working? I was beginning to think, are you sure this is okay? This thing should have hit this time. It should have hit this time. Why is it delayed? Why is it delayed? Something was telling me, why not persevere? I said, are you sure this thing is okay? Are you sure it's even working? As I was doubting myself, I broke it and it was 20 seconds. I felt bad, but I had to learn from it. How many of us were close to the edge of breakthrough and we broke it? We quit. Why? Because it can't see. My inability to see beyond what I can feel. I couldn't see the clock. I couldn't see it. I had to trust that clock was working. That's what I didn't trust. I couldn't trust it. Most of us are so close. But look at what the enemy does. This guy is so close, he begins to whisper to your ears, this thing will not work. You've tried it. It's not working. It's not for you. Give it up. Look at Mama Nkechi. He did it. He failed. Look at Papa Emeka. He did it. Look at Abigail. Look at this person. He begins to show you. He begins to bring a myriad of things. At the lick of your breakthrough, at the lick you're about to emerge, can't you see this is not working? The enemy does not have the power to stop you. You only have the power to stop yourself. But he can sell things to you. Can't you see? This clock is not working. You want to tell me it's not 30 minutes since then? Have an hour. It has passed. Maybe it has stopped working. Maybe you did not do something. Maybe you did not put something well. Maybe this business is not for you. Can't you see? You invited all your friends. They did not join. Look at Gilbert now. Gilbert, he has not signed up. He has not joined. Look at this one that joined. He's not doing well. Look at you now. And by you see, when the pressure is the highest, that is when you're closest to the breakthrough. Why is the pressure high? Because I want you to quit. They want you to quit. You know, this guy is about to hit it. This is about to hit it. And the pressure is for you to quit. They ought to quit. Most people have quit seconds, 1 meeting away, one prospecting away, one event away to that breakthrough. They're gone. Why? Because they can't see the overall vicissitude. They can't see, they don't have a panoramic view. They can't see beyond their eyes, they can't see beyond their senses. But that's when they should have kicked in faith. That's why without faith, it's impossible to please God. You can't have breakthrough without. That's when they should have kicked in faith. But the devil knew, if I allow this guy one more day, 1 more hour, 20 more seconds, he would have broken through. And I can't stop him because I lack the power to stop this guy. I lack the power to stop this lady. But guess what? I can sell something because he can't see. So I have the advantage. He can't see. She can't see. She can't feel. All she can see are the things happening. I invited 20 people, they all not sign up. My brother is against, my father is against, my husband is against, my wife is against, everybody's against it. These are the things they can see. Let me bring those things they can see and make it look like reality. And people make permanent decisions over temporal circumstances, over fleeting circumstances, things that can change the next moment. People have made permanent decisions over it. Never ever make a permanent decision over fleeting and temporal circumstances. There's what is called fact, and that's what is called truth. The fact are the things you see, the things you feel, what the experiences tell you. But the fact is not the truth most of the time. Facts can change. You're no good. You're failing at everything. You suck at this. You suck at that. Can't you see? You can't even. Those are the facts. Yes, they are the facts. But the truth is, I am unstoppable. I am born a winner. I am created in the image of God. I cannot quit. I cannot fail. It might look like I'm failing, but I will emerge. That is the truth. Even though nothing around you sells it to you, you must transcend the things that you see and the things that you feel and begin to believe the things that you do not see and you do not feel. Believe those things, and all of a sudden you will emerge. That's what happens. That's why we need meetings. That's why you need an event. You see, what I'm doing here, I'm like the midwife. How many women would not have given birth if there was no midwife to tell them, push, 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 push. No, 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 it's not coming out. I'm dead. This pain is too much. They will slap you. Come on, will you push? You can make it. You can make it. We can make it. Most people would have given up on their dreams, given up on their kids, given up on what they were about to bet if there was no midwife to tell. No, it's the midwife. You see, as the woman is lying in the labor room there, all she can feel is the pain. All she can say, this thing is not abating. This thing is not coming out. That's all she can see. But there's a midwife there that's saying, you know what? No, I can see better. Yes, you can see, but it's remaining how many, whatever is dilating. I'm not a medical person, but I've had some. It's dilating. It's getting there. Push, push. Don't you dare give up. Don't you dare give up. Come on, we need push. No, I want to give up. They will slap them. Come on, come back to reality. Come on, push. That is how these people push and they emerge. And all of a sudden, 20 minutes after they see their baby, they discover that they are about to make a permanent decision over temporary circumstances. They begin to smile. They begin to hear the crowd. They see the beautiful baby they brought into this world. Their joy overwhelms. And like, wow. And look at the mirror. They thank you for making me to push. I would have given up on my dreams.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a short chat there. The video did not play to the end. And as I told us, this is a continuing meeting. On Tuesday, 9 p.m., we're going to have the same this series again. Remember the assignment. So I might play the rest of the video by then. But remember the assignment today. Now, if you look at what he has said in that video, some of us, you can actually find yourself in what he said. You can imagine yourself in it. You can relate properly. So what I want you to do this night is this. Take stock. Remember that your vision, your vision is valid. Remember that your dream is valid. Remember that if it is to happen, you are the one to make it happen. Remember that the power to make it happen lies with you. But you need to break the negative pattern. Those things that you've been doing, those things that you fail to do, you need to break that negative pattern so that you can have that success that you desire to have in your business, in your life. So let's go back this night. Begin to look at those things in your life that have been limiting you, those attitudes, those excuses, those things, those bottled up, those grievances you have, grievances against your sponsor, grievances against your fellow, partner, your partner, grievances in many ways, lack of faith that you have in the business, the time you have wasted instead of doing the right thing, the right activities that will bring results, you've played over it. I want you to begin to just cast your mind back again. Take stock, write it down, and tell yourself, all these have been keeping me, weighing me down, and it has created negative pattern in my life. Today, I am going to deal with this, and I will make amends. This year, I'm not talking about next year. This year, we will deal with all those negative patterns so that we can properly transit, properly, go into next year, 2023. We can properly emerge. So next, within this year too, we'll talk about goal setting, we'll talk about targets. Then all of us will set our, goals for the next year and going forward. In fact, it's not just for the next year. We will set maybe 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, plan or goal. And then we'll begin to break it down to 3 months goal, 1 month goal, 1 month plan, 3 months plan, 6 months plan, 1 year plan. We need to be deliberate this time. If we are not, another 2 years, 5 years will come, and you are not yet seeing yourself where you should be. And I've told us that if it is one other person that will join me, 2 other persons, 3 other persons, 5 other persons, I am okay. And so you already have been put on notice that the next meeting is on Tuesday by 9 p.m. So clear your schedule, whatever it is that will limit you. Now, if you know that there are some of your people in that platform where I send this notice for the meeting and they are not here, after this meeting, tell them that if really they want to start off on the right path, they must never, nobody should even remind them of this meeting. They must always attend. Because after 2 or 3 meetings and we see people who consistently fail to attend, we will remove them from that platform. And they will continue to run normal, no problem about that. But we have decided that there will be a change. The negative pattern has to be broken. And the time is now, not tomorrow. So thank you for attending the meeting. I don't want this meeting to last more than 1 hour. So we're ending it now. Maybe by the next week, by next meeting, which is on Tuesday, you might have time to ask a few questions. I'll have time to give you a chance to ask a few questions or make comments. But for now, let's